Here we are today. We're going to paint our trim on the airplane, and if you looked at this airplane yesterday, it was a lighter green. And what I did was mixed some black in with it, and we painted it the OD green. And we'll give a little look at this. I'm kind of new to this GoPro camera stuff. I do have the other recording going, so we got good audio instead of audio from the GoPro. But this is what we got going. Last night I took some primer and primered this spot. This will be painted white today, then yellow. Then I'm going to cut out some vinyl stencils for the checkerboards, for the red checks. Old Crow goes down here, invasion stripes, and we hope to get those on today. And maybe I'll do a tutorial on how to make my rondelles, the stars and bars, and we'll see where it goes from there. This project should be quite a bit of fun. I'm kind of glad that I went ahead and painted the airplane a little darker. It was too light. It was kind of like a pea green. I just added probably 2 ounces of black to the paint, and it should be fine. Now we have, it's not real even as far as the strokes go on this, but this is going to have to be painted white first, so that hides 90% of the imperfections in the stroke of the airbrush, so to speak, the overspread. And then once it's cleared, ink being cleared, it'll be fine. So this is what we got now, and we'll see you in a short. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to detail out the P51 B. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to arrive at some of the markings and how to get some artistic license. Okay, the first thing that we're going to need to do, let me move this over here so you can see, and hopefully you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing, is I'm going to come to the computer. And I haven't had we have the Old Crow on the computer screen with my, intro here. But it's really not a good picture. I want a larger picture so I can get some perspective on what it has to look like. So we're going to search Old Crow P51. P51. Old Crow P51 Mustang. There we go. Now Google's your friend. You got to learn how to use Google, and it works really well. So we're going to go to images here, because I don't want to search a bunch of different images. Now they have, I guess they had a couple of different P51s. This is not a B, but we're going to scroll down, and there's a P51 B there, but it's not a good, it's not really a good picture. Here's one there with no invasion stripes on it. I kind of want to have the invasion stripes, so we'll keep scrolling down until we find what we're looking for. There's one, but in the wrong view. There's another one. No invasion stripes. There's a side view of one. I guess they had a bunch of these. But I want to see the proportions. Ah, here we go. Here's a 3 view Old Crow. So we'll pull this up let's view the image. And we found here on the computer basically what Old Crow looks like. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the proportions, how far the invasion stripes are out to the edge of the wingtip. So here again, we're using artistic license because there's no measurements for this, so you just have to kind of wing it. So what I'm going to do is, it looks that it would start probably 3 inches in. Let's give a piece of tape so I can mark this. Now, when you're building a fantasy airplane, it doesn't have to be perfect. But you want it uniform. You want it to look nice. I want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. So, by the looks of on the computer image, and I know you guys can't see it very well, the screen, the invasion stripes would probably come out to approximately here. They're big. And approximately here, I mean, they're huge. And you think, well, you know, matter of fact, I don't like that. That's too much invasion stripes, so we'll make it half the distance here. Now, you could do it by measuring and taping and all that, but that's not how I do it. What I do is get a ruler here. I guess we'll use this one because I'll need a longer piece. We'll see how wide this is. And this invasion stripe is 10 inches. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use a 10-inch stripe. Set the airplane off the bench here. I just don't have the room that some guys have, so I have to do things in stages. Okay, I've set it off the bench, and I'm going to need a pen to mark this. Just so happens I got some free pens yesterday. I use a lot of this construction paper, and it kind of, or poster board or whatever you want to call this stuff, it kind of saves from you know, time. You can see whether you like the stripe or not, and it doesn't matter what color it is. So anyway, we know we want an invasion stripe that's 10 inches. So we're going to cut a 10-inch rectangle out of this. And the way I do things, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. You know, with the rate that I can build these at, you got to learn some of the tricks. So we'll take a razor blade. There's our invasion pattern right there. That's a pretty good swatch. So now we have it's divided into 1, 2, 3, 5 spots. That's perfect. So it's every 2 inches. Every 2 inches, it'll be easy to lay out. Every 2 inches is a stripe. Now we don't really need this right now, but it'll give us an idea what the stripes will look like. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8. That was a slick move. 2-inch invasion stripes. You know, I'm doing my Thunderbolt, and this job here is for a customer, but I'm doing my Thunderbolt in a basic military paint job as well. So all these patterns that I'm making for the customer will be used on my Thunderbolt as well. So it's a dual purpose job. So we have white, black, white, black, white. All right, not a big deal. So now we get our airplane back and set it up here on the bench. I'm gonna have to put this paint away too. And I just kind of wanted to make a you know, just a little video to keep abreast of what I'm doing and why I'm not doing some of the other things like my build along project. I just have these customer jobs that I have to get out. So I think that maybe I should have cut one more piece. Let's measure that. That way we can get a mark on where it goes. Let's make it easy. 3.5 inches. So I need one piece 3.5 inches as well, and that'll use as the guide to make sure that the invasion stripe itself is square to the fuselage, because you know, a lot of people see different things. And when I'm out at the field and I look at your airplane and I see that you didn't take time, you know, 1/4 inch is a mile. If it's out by 1/4 inch, it might as well be an inch. 3.5. So try to make things as exact as you can to help your eye. We're just trying to make the illusion that this would have been a real airplane. 3.5. So this is our gauge to set the invasion stripes, and we have to do that 4 times. So it's just as easy to make one gauge. Alright, now we're ready to go. I'll move the... Okay, I've been working on this for a while, and I got some emails and some phone calls that came in and trying to help me make my videos a little better, and I probably agree with them, you know, pretty much. And we're going to try to do a better job on the editing, where you're not watching the same thing over and over again, or hearing me complain. I'm not gonna complain anymore. I guess it's not doing any good. So, what we got going on now is I've taped off the underside. I didn't include that in this reel because it's just repetition over and over again. So first has gone over with the fine line. Now we're going over with the masking tape. Now the reason I use the masking tape is that if you don't put masking tape right up to your fine line tape, it will bleed over. And I've done it both ways, where you get in a hurry and you just say, well, I don't have time to put the masking tape. But what it does is give you an added protection. so that we don't end up with white bled over onto the green. So I'm probably going to tape this up, stop the movie, edit the 2 segments that I have up, and move on. Because I really want you guys to be, you know, entertained by this. But I want you to learn something too. So anyway, it's just repetition. Tape off the tape this off, then we're going to paper it. And then shoot it. Now, I don't really feel there's any need for me to, well, I don't know. It all depends on what you guys want. Some guys don't want to see all that. Some guys want to spend time hanging out with me. You know, I've had it told both ways. So I don't know. Can't make everybody happy. But I think the live streams are going to have to be revamped. I don't feel that that's an extremely boring situation because I can't edit anything out of the live stream. So anyway, what we've got here, we've taped off the invasion stripe. I've taped off this nose piece. Next thing to do is we're going to paper this. And they sell a paper machine. You can get a paper machine, but I just buy an $11 roll of paper, and I feel back in the day when I first started doing this, they had newspapers. Well, now you can hardly find a newspaper. And then Wendy came along. I guess it's really Al Rabe's idea, or might be Walt Prey's idea. I'm not sure, but they used tinfoil. Well, to me, tinfoil is expensive, and I just don't have the funds for that. So I buy an $11 roll of paper, like so, and they give you about a gazillion feet. And the nice thing about this paper is it doesn't have any print on it, so we're not going to smear ink on things, and that's a good thing. So spend a few minutes papering this off, and that's not hard to do, but you know, do a good job and try not to. The biggest thing with doing this is that you end up leaving air gaps, and those air gaps are gonna bleed. It's just the way it is. So be careful when putting the tape or paper on that you don't leave any places for the paint to bleed in. There we go. We're gonna paint the three sections on this video, and that'll be the end of the video for today. I don't feel that I can get much more done today after waiting to see if the color was okay. I need to work on my Thunderbolt a little bit. or I'll never get that done either. Plus, I have a customer's airplane to do. So much work and not enough time. Now, there's really not any need to absolutely close everything up like on the wingtips. You're not going to be spraying out there, so I don't feel there's a need to tape all that up. You need to be cognizant of what you're spraying, and you don't want to be, you're going to spray here, you're not going to spray out on the wingtip. So I don't ever encase the whole model, unless I never encase the whole thing unless I'm painting red on a white model. Red is the strangest color. It will find every nook, every cranny to bleed under that's not protected. I don't know why that is, but you can take my word for it, or you can experiment yourself and find out the hard way. Another thing with red, this is my shop upstairs, and I can tell you this, if I paint red up here, it will be all over everything downstairs. Everything. And that's just the way it is. And just not going to worry about it. We'll feed the cats here in a minute. It's gonna get cold for them kitties. Bunch of alley cats. Anyway, you guys get the drift of what's going on. I'm going to cut the camera, feed the cats. I'm going to finish taping everything up, and we'll come back when I got it all taped off.